This is a country in conflict with its own staggering growth.
China is confronting a crisis of epic proportions.
You can see China's push for 7.5% GDP growth this year evident everywhere, in every detail. New cities, new trains, endless power plants.
The China that has emerged on all of our radars as this powerhouse.
Moving people up the economic chain, and that means more of everything, including energy.
But that imperative for growth at any cost comes with a deadly price tag.
A more acute environmental problem than any other major developed or developing country.
And it's getting worse.
The air quality in China has reached a kind of tipping point.
The air is unbreathable.
The big culprit?
Coal.
Coal.
Coal. Coal. Coal. Coal. And that's pushing the country's nervous leaders.
It has to ensure that people still believe that their lives are getting better.
To new frontiers in cleaner energy production.
We have to do something.
The government is desperate for energy alternatives.
China is now marching towards an industry that has been highly lucrative and controversial in America for 40 years. Fracking.
Shale gas in China would be a game changer, there's absolutely no question.
Not only for China, but really for the world.
We know they've got a huge volume. It is absorbing money, it is absorbing skills. Selling the picks and shovels for the gold rush would be the analogy.
And in a geopolitical maneuver that's largely happening in the background, China is enlisting Americans to help. In this series of Climate Desk videos, you'll get exclusive access to Chinese corridors of power, where top-level US officials have launched a diplomatic tour de force to sell American brand fracking know-how, featuring some of the biggest energy companies in the US.
Shell, Exxon, Chevron.
Companies that are betting billions that China's massive shale reserves can, at least in part, offset coal and clean up the economy at a cheap price. But will it work? Join me and my colleague Jaeah as we journey off the beaten track, across China and into the reality of China's next energy boom. And it's a familiar story to American communities that have gone through the same thing. Weird stuff starts turning up in the water. And the aggressive tactics of the Chinese government in pursuit of these wells, some of them jointly operated by American companies.
These people who lose the only thing that gave them existence.
But can China afford not to frack if the country needs to break its deadly addiction to coal?
You can feel one way about fracking in the Marcellus Formation in the United States. I think you need to look at the Chinese situation with the choices that are available there.
You look at the climate change debate in the US, and it's very hard to put a human face on it. You go to China, and everybody's face is the face of environmental problems.
That's where the fate of the world is largely going to be determined.
So if shale works, they'll do more.